Anyone who's been a fan of professional wrestling for any period of time has realized that the United States offers some premium talent, but that there's also a huge amount of talent coming out of the Orient. Whether it's the Great Muta, or maybe it's Masa Chono, maybe it's Masa Saito, maybe it's somebody like Tatsumi Fujinami, or Antonio Inoki, Mitsuharu Misawa, Shohei Giant Baba. All these talents that have brought so much excitement and entertainment to the world of professional wrestling, both in Japan and in the United States. Well, it's 2017, and WWE needs to start tapping into that market. They need to start bringing some of those talents to World Wrestling Entertainment and really showcasing the best wrestling in the world. That's why this episode of the Fro Wrestling Podcast, we're looking at the top 10 Japanese talents that WWE needs to sign right now. Coming in at number 10, we're looking at a talent who has made a little soiree into World Wrestling Entertainment in the past during the Cruiserweight Classic. We're talking about Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi is one of the best high flyers in the world. He has everything there is necessary to be a main draw. He's a throwback to early days of Taka Michinoku, early days of people like Brian Pillman and Jushin Thunder Liger. He has everything there is necessary to be a main talent in the Cruiserweight division for World Wrestling Entertainment. The only thing holding him back is his desire to not be locked down to a huge, intense schedule. That is a huge problem for World Wrestling Entertainment, where their talents typically see the road 250 or more days a year. But if a deal could be worked out, Kota Ibushi showed during the Cruiserweight Classic that he is worth the investment. He is somebody who puts on some of the best matches in the world, and he's a talent that the Cruiserweight division needs. Coming in at number 9, we're going to look at Tomohiro Ishii. Ishii is a bulldozer. This is a guy who, if you look at, tag team wrestling of the past, he is someone who's like a throwback to Jim the Anvil Neidhart when he first came out. He's just a thick bruiser. He's a brawler, and he's solid. And no matter who he gets in the ring with, he's able to move around that ring and give you a high-quality professional wrestling match every time he performs. Ishii has spent his entire career almost exclusively in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He recently made a venture into Ring of Honor, winning the World Television Championship, and the response from the fans was amazing. It was a clear indicator that Ishii can get over with the American fans. And now it's time for WWE to bring someone like Tomohiro Ishii to the main roster and give people like Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt, or Samoa Joe a talent to work with who's on their level and who is a legitimate threat with his Japanese strong style. Coming in at number 8, we're looking at a guy who has done it all in New Japan Pro Wrestling, former Intercontinental Champion Hiroki Goto. Goto is one of those rare breeds. He's a mix of high-flying, high-speed, high spots with the brawling, with the technical savvy. Hiroki Goto has held every championship you can ask him to hold without being IWGP World Champion. It's time for Goto to expand his horizons and become a star that's waiting to explode onto the wrestling scene in World Wrestling Entertainment. The NXT brand has brought in Japanese talents in the past, Hideo Itami and people of that nature, but none of them have gotten over like Hiroki Goto could. Hiroki Goto is able to do things in the ring that just defy logic, and would be an incredible asset for the NXT brand. WWE needs to look at someone like Hiroki Goto as a talent for the future. Coming in at number 7, WWE has always been great at bringing in some of the premier talents that people are dying to see in dream matches. And one of those talents that they have plenty of dream matches that they could put together would be Hiroshi Tanahashi. He has been the face of New Japan Pro Wrestling for the better part of 10 years. Tanahashi does not have an infinite amount of time left in the tank. If they're going to make a move on Tanahashi, it has to be soon. He would be an instant sensation here in the United States. He is so skilled, so talented, high-flying action, the likes of which we haven't seen since Eddie Guerrero. He really is an all-pro talent. He is a guy who can go with the best of them. He has had classic matches with Shinsuke Nakamura, with Kazuchika Okada, with all the top talents in the world. And it's time for Hiroshi Tanahashi to come to the WWE and showcase his Japanese style in new talents in the ring with people he's never been able to face in the WWE. Can you imagine seeing someone like Tanahashi versus Dolph Ziggler? Or Tanahashi versus Kevin Owens? Tanahashi versus Finn Balor in the United States. That match has happened. Look it up on YouTube. Hiroshi Tanahashi, long overdue for a WWE ring. Coming in at number 6, another talent who really hasn't even seen their full potential reached yet in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but that people would really bring in and get behind in World Wrestling Entertainment. Bad Luck Fale. Bad Luck Fale is the enforcer. He's the boss of the Bullet Club. Bringing him to WWE creates an opportunity. He's one of those talents that could go toe-to-toe with people like Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar. I would love to see a match with Bad Luck Fale going toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar. He's a legitimate tough guy. He's someone who can really put some tails in seats and really be a draw if pushed the right way. He's only scratched the surface of his talent in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and a lot of that's because they are stacked at the top of their card. Fale is ready to break out, and if he's going to break out anywhere, he should be breaking out in World Wrestling Entertainment. Coming in at number 5 is arguably the greatest pound-for-pound wrestler in the world today. The newest member of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament champions, Kushida. Kushida is amazing. He could do everything there is to do. He kind of looks like Marty McFly with, the vest on every time he comes to the ring. But the guy, once the bell rings, he is amazing. High flying, submission wrestling. He does all the power moves, and then he gets innovative with regular routine skill sets. He comes out with things that we've never seen before. At the end of the day, Kushida coming to World Wrestling Entertainment, he would be the prime candidate to unseat Neville as the Cruiserweight Champion. In fact, Kushida is talented enough, it would be great to see him in the ring with someone like The Miz challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. Kushida is long overdue for a run in World Wrestling Entertainment. Coming in at number 4, WWE has had a really tough time cultivating tag teams. Well, you don't have to cultivate something when it's just natural. When you got brothers, they always hang together, they work well together, and these brothers are the sons of the Barbarian, the Guerrillas of Destiny. IWGP Tag Team Champions in the past. They are a phenomenal tag team. They've got the right look that WWE would capitalize on. They'd be the perfect people to put in the ring to go toe-to-toe with the Usos, to go toe-to-toe with the New Day. Bring them in, let them go against Sheamus and Cesaro. They are legitimate tough guys. Their father trained them well, and they are ready for a prime spot on the WWE roster. When you're looking to fill and bolster that tag team division, this is a quick way to do it, bringing in a tag team this caliber. They are out of this world, and they belong in World Wrestling Entertainment. Coming in at number 3, again, someone who has made some ventures into the American market when he wrestled for Impact Wrestling, now is back in New Japan and really is ready to explode as a phenom talent, and that's Sonata. Sonata right now is doing everything you could possibly ask a talent to do to establish their own brand in New Japan Pro Wrestling. His faction has taken control of whole pay-per-views, and he is paired up with Tetsuya Naito in some of the most high-profile matches that we've seen in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Well, it's time for him to bring his brash attitude, his look, his unique style, his whole presentation to World Wrestling Entertainment. And this is somebody who a lot of people think is stuck in the world of cruiserweights. I don't buy that. Sonata can hang with anyone. If we can buy Finn Balor being a main event talent, there's no reason Sonata couldn't do just the same. WWE needs to jump all over the Sonata bandwagon, and they need to bring Sonata in as soon as possible. Coming in at number 2, one of the most controversial figures right now in New Japan Pro Wrestling, one of the best talents in the world, and I'm talking about Tetsuya Naito. Naito has been such an antagonist. He plays the role of the classic heel better than anyone in New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. His appearance, the hairstyle, the looks he gives his opponents, his attitude when he slides in and out of the ring, when he purposely draws the fans in expecting a big throwdown and then he doesn't give it to him. He slides out of the ring and tries to gain as much heat as he can, and he does it like it's an art form. Tetsuya Naito would be an amazing addition to the main roster of WWE. The matches that he could have with people like AJ Styles and Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin would be phenomenal. It's time for WWE to start targeting the premier talents of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Tetsuya Naito is at the top of that list. with the exception of one other person, our #1 talent who should be coming to WWE from New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's been mentioned before, and he said it's not going to happen, but if he's a great businessman like we think he is, and if WWE really wants to hang as being the best wrestling in the world, then they need to bring in Kazuchika Okada. The face of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okada has faced them all. There is no one who's come through New Japan Pro Wrestling who hasn't faced Okada and fallen. Kazuchika Okada is on the level with someone like Shawn Michaels. And I know that's a bold statement, but that's how good he is. And he is in the prime of his career. He would be a main event talent, a WrestleMania main event level talent if he came to World Wrestling Entertainment. WWE, if you ever get wind of podcasts like this, by all means, please bring in Kazuchika Okada. The absolute diehard fans would kill to see matches with his talent in the ring. Can you imagine Kazuchika Okada and John Cena headlining WrestleMania? I know I can. What an amazing opportunity. What did you think of our list? Is there someone we should add? Did we forget somebody? Put your suggestions in the comment box below on YouTube.